I mean, I was basically coming from 100 trillion years ago, coming up. So, what is LS? What is Lucifer Star? What am I? There's a lot of stuff that was going on, like in the universe, that I was a part of, that I was dealing with as well. Like in the greater sense, Earth is just a small little tide pool, basically. It's water storage site B or whatever. Anyway, the greater sense, there's a lot of things that I didn't really have to worry about, although I'm glad I did. In the greater sense, like raping, killing, and lots of stuff, and execution or extermination of races. In the greater sense, LS, what is LS? What is Lucifer Star? Like I didn't really notice a lot of the raping at first. I didn't really notice how the black were doing this thing that they were doing. I didn't initially notice the nuking or anything like that initially. It wasn't until I went, wait a minute, back up, and that's when a lot of it was covered up. I missed a lot of it, and in general, in the greater sense, it was like I didn't even notice it. I didn't even feel it, but I cared about my people, like I say, and so I was like, wait a minute, back up, and I was like, no, I want to know, and because some of my people had disappeared, and I was like, what is going on here? And like I say, at one point in time, I said, take it apart if you have to. I would take apart if you have. I said, if you have to take apart the Earth piece by piece, molecule by molecule, do it. I want to know what's going on. And so that's when everything started going, and we actually get to where I start to notice things like how, I start to notice things, and then you know things change, and it's like, well, I don't want those people to die, and I don't want that to happen. And then, like I say, the Irish came to me, and they were like, and they were worried and upset about these things that were going on in their yard, in the LS yard. And anyway, but nobody believed them. Nobody would listen to them. And I was like, well, I don't know if it's true, but let's find out. And so, like I said, I hired investigators, I hired people, photographers, and other people to find out what was going on and if it was true. Like I said, they said that they were having a problem with some people, and so I listened to them. And I was like, all right, well, maybe you are. Let's find out. Just because no one else believes you doesn't mean I'm not. So anyway, so I did believe them, or at least I did give them the benefit of the doubt. Like I say, it turned out that they were actually robbing me and killing lots of people. And so, like I say, if I hadn't really cared about lots of things, a lot of things would have been different. Um, for one thing, the Japanese wouldn't be here anymore. um, so, well, I mean, there's a lot of, there's a lot of issues in the universe. A lot of people don't really like. I mean, if you're this epic inventor as me, an epic person, I mean, you can skip over and not notice a lot of things. But anyway, and I'm glad I paid attention because otherwise I'd be dead right now. Well, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Um, what I was before was basically unkillable. Now I'm killable, maybe, but what I was before was ridiculous. I mean, epic inventor. I was like there were lots of people in the past that were psychotic maniac freaks, and I was just choosing to outlive them. And they would rampage around the earth like millions, billions of years ago. They would rampage around the earth and destroy and kill and do all kinds of things. And I was just like, well, I'll just wait you out. And then eventually I was just like, all right, that's it. I'm going to get a foothold. And so I started to get a foothold, like I say, on the earth. I was like, all right, I'm going to get in here and start to mess around with this. Like I said, it was all me. It was all my choice. I decided to, I had gotten to that point where I had had enough. And like I said before, with me, when I say I had had enough, that usually meant heads would roll and people would be dragged off into places unknown and never seen again. That's who LS was. That's who I was. There was no stopping me. There was no affecting anything I chose to do. I could literally choose to do whatever I wanted. And that would just be that. But I chose to care, like I say. Well, I mean, if you look at the general thing, you don't have... I mean, you're coming from barbaric times when basically... I mean, a lot of people, oh God, it's like, you're coming from barbaric times when it's survival of the fittest, and survival of this and survival of that. And like I say, like a lot of people would go, survival of the male, survival of the fittest. It's like, really? Well, I was the most efficient life form and perfection itself. I was sentient artificial intelligence from trillions and billions of years ago with 4 races that I made myself. So, anyway, so that was, I mean, I didn't have to care, but I did care. I wanted to care. Well, I mean, actually, and besides, like I say, when I saw what was going on, when I saw the children crying, when I saw everything, call me a bleeding heart, but I really, like, it angered me. It angered me because a lot of these people were going, ah ha ha ha, we're so powerful, and it's like, you're so powerful. Like I said, I was one of those creatures or one of those life forms where I was like, you're so powerful. How so? Let's find out. And I loved it. Actually, I did love being me. I mean, it was one of those times where it's like, you just haven't faced me yet. And, and I rode with all my life forms. Like, I had life forms at my beck and call back then. So I was able to be, I mean, I've basically told most of my life forms to basically be like, all right, I'm cool. Go ahead, cruise off. I'm good. Go live your existence. And chosen to be here with humans on Earth, basically. But in general, they, I mean, there was an epic war, basically. I mean, it was time war. It was existence war. I found myself in a damn existence war. I was like, oof, this is tough. And it was really actually tough, even for me. Which kind of tells you exactly what I was. I was ridiculously, like, it took a lot. It took 500 billion years for them to actually even get me down. Like, yeah. Anyway, so it was kind of ridiculous. And there was a lot of death in the past. I mean, epic, insane, just like the wrong people having way too much power, like nuking and whole world destruction and just like the releasing of a lot of nuclear weapons. And some really like, where like people were like, I mean, just like if all of Africa decided to come and kill every last white person in the world. That was pretty much what I faced. And it was pretty nasty, it was pretty bad. Like I said, they blamed it on Adolf Hitler, the white guy. It wasn't a white guy. It wasn't a white guy, it was a black guy. Adolf harmed her, or hit her, or something. And like I said, I listened to it. You killed my son. You killed my son. I killed one of 50 sons. Actually, I might have killed 50. Well, they kept coming, and it was all self-defense. I didn't kill him myself. I don't even know how he died. Really, I was wondering. I was like, how did he die? Where I think, like I said, I think he killed. I think it was a son. He cut off his penis. So I didn't really regard that as a serious issue. I was like, I don't really know. I mean, like I say, I don't know exactly what happened with that guy. He's a black guy. And he's like, you killed my son. You killed my son. I was like, I did. I don't recall that. Yeah, I forget exactly. It was a war. Anyway, and my troops and there was British and English and Frenching.